Hello, all you 7 or 8 followers that I have on YouTube and other various social media. I made a mistake the other night. I was working and threw on some YouTube. I was watching my man crush Simon Sinek talk about some business stuff, and somehow the algorithm went to cageless chickens, and for some reason I still watch that video. And then it went to microgreens, which I'm the least vegetarian person whatsoever, yet I was totally like engulfed and trying to understand what the heck this is. Apparently it's getting kind of big, so to speak, or definitely in Canada. The first video I watched was some guy that did this in Canada, and he like sells thousands of dollars a week or whatever. That wasn't the part that baffled me. It was basically what looked like birdseed that grew into this stuff, and people eat it or use it as a garnish for their dishes. I guess chefs and restaurants do this sort of thing. Anyways, totally blew my mind. So I watched another like 20 videos. So I went down the rabbit hole completely. So then I start running through my mind, my accountant and me, geez, if I did this, how much would it cost? Do I really want to spend any money on this? I don't even like vegetables, so anyways, so I got on Amazon, go figure. So like 2 weeks later, now I have pretty much all my supplies. I really didn't spend a lot, and a lot of the things that I did buy can be repurposed. So like the lights that I bought, I can repurpose those in my shop for, my wood projects and whatnot. The shelving unit that I bought to put the trays on it, and I'll kind of go through some of this, that can be repurposed as well. The only thing I'm going to lose out on would be seeds, soil, and a pH tester that isn't really that big of a deal. Oh, squirt bottles, but again, anybody can use squirt bottles. So anyways, I went to, I believe it's True Leaf something. Where's it at? True Leaf seeds or whatever. They look something like this. This is a 4 ounce. This is a pound. It was like $7 for this. This is a salad mix type microgreens. This is a mustard / wasabi. I'm really curious what that tastes like. Basically, you take these seeds. Well, back up a second. You take the soil. This is a 10 by 10. They use 10 by 10 and 10 by 20 trays. Learned way too much about this really quick. Basically, you can either use the soil, coco coir, which is like a coconut type husk, ground up mix type deal or whatever, or you can use, there's certain type of hydroponic type pads that you can use and whatnot. Anyways, I'm just going to use soil because it's easy to deal with. If I really get further into this, which I have no idea at this point, then maybe I'll change my methods. So pretty much everybody kind of uses a basic, it's not really a potting soil, but it's like a seeding type. So the soil really doesn't make that big of a difference, because I guess the seed, basically what you're harvesting and eating is the seed and the nutrients that are inside the seed. You're not even really getting to like, real plants or anything. Most of these can be harvested or cut within like 10 to 15 days. So, soil, seeds, water, germinate for a couple days, throw it under light, grow. Sometimes you can even get 2 cuts, like you'll cut it the first time, it'll keep growing, you can get some more off it. Anyways, totally blew my mind that I'm even making this video about microgreens, because I know nothing about it. So I guess you're here to go along this venture with me. I'm gonna go through a basic setup, basically kind of like, throw some soil in my 10 by 10 tray here. These are the cheapest trays possible also, which is good and bad. They're cheap. I didn't spend much on them. It was like, I think for 10 by 10 trays was like $20. So it's like $1 a tray. No. $2 a tray roughly. The really good ones, you know, you're going to be spending a lot more money, but they last a long time. So if you wanted to, you know, actually long term this, you're going to be wanting to spend more money on the big trays. But these are really cheap plastic trays. You can get them with and without holes. The method that I'm doing is without holes. The other method would be soil in this one with holes, and you put it on top of this one. There would be like a slight gap, and then you put the water into the bottom tray, and then, you know, basically the roots feed through it. Anyways, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing soil, and then it's called top watering instead of bottom watering. So we'll go through that. I'm actually, as I'm making this video, I'm actually on my 4th day. I've taken some pictures along the way to just kind of document my madness, because this is, again, it's crazy that I've gotten this far. I eat like potatoes, broccoli on occasion, so not seeing microgreens on this. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. Gotta go from there. All right, so here we are. I got my potting soil here. Again, basic potting soil. And I have my water. I just took water with my pH tester. It was like 7.3 or something like that. When you buy the pH tester, it usually comes as a kit. It's like less than 20 bucks for a pH tester and some pH up and down, maybe 25. You can get a really good pH tester for like 100. Again, I'm not spending that kind of money. Anyways, you want to get it between 5.5 and 6. That's, I guess, where they like to grow from, that water pH level. So that's what I already have mixed in here. So when I originally watched the first video, he had a 10 by 20 tray, which is kind of like what this is here. I found that at Lowe's for like $2.68, but it was the only one they had. Supplies on a lot of things obviously are kind of hit and miss right now with the whole COVID situation. But I grabbed it. It's good to kind of hold my soil in, so that way if some drops out, at least it goes back in there. Anyways, what he said was 2 cups of water. He bottom feeds, by the way. Or no, he top feeds, but when you originally set this up, you put, on his 10 by 20, he did 2 cups. Since I'm doing a 10 by 10, I'm only going to do 1 cup. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's kind of like baking. Here we go, 1 cup. Pour it right in there. Set that to the side. I'll get my soil over here. I'm gonna go a little above, in between the first and the second line that's on here. This is a 2-inch tray. Some of the trays also come as a 1-inch. They'll just kind of, because this basically, again, it's basically just for the root, for it to grow into something, because it needs somewhere to go. So this is pretty flat. Then you can take a separate tray and just kind of push it down on top to kind of flatten it out. And sometimes the trays like mine do, they have grooves, just kind of flatten out those grooves. This looks pretty good. I'm a little above the first line. There's a big stick. Let's get rid of the stick. Now, the first set of seeds, this is called a spicy salad mix. I have no idea what that means, since I still haven't finished growing the ones that I already started. They have regular salad mix also. Again, on the 10 by 20, he used, I believe it was not quite 2 grams. I'll be doing 1 gram. From my Google calculations, that's about not quite 2 tablespoons. So not quite 2 of these, I think. Good, let's get starting this. So here's 1. You're just gonna kind of try to evenly mix these throughout the tray. Make sure you get the corners good. So I kind of start with the corners and the outsides. Try not to get them too clumped together. quite two. I'm gonna set that up. You might see some spots that don't have enough. See some that have too much, like where I just accidentally dropped too many. So I'm gonna see over here. Brown seeds and raw thing, it's kind of hard to tell. Some of the hydroponic setups are like the pads that they sell. They're like a lighter tan or like almost a white color. So when you put seeds down, you can really see how well you've done. Using a brown soil with a brown set of seeds is kind of tough to do that. So we're kind of set here. What I'm going to do next is grab my spray bottle. Spray bottle has the same water that's in here. So when I mixed it, it was like 5.6. So like I said, between 5.5 and 6 is pretty much where we're at. So the guy that I watched, he's very reputable. He did the 1 cup in the bottom, which is going to start to kind of spread from the bottom side of this, and then he sprays over the top. So that's what we're going to kind of do here. I'm going to do a loose spray the first time. First time I did this, if you get too close, because it's so much pressure, it starts blowing things places. So you kind of want to wet it down first and then do your real spray that you want to do. Just get it nice and moist, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to set this to the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack 2 trays. We're going to go like this, and then our flat tray. Okay. Now what this does, we're going to do this, and then I'm going to weight this down. Just for reference, since I have this sitting here, I'm going to put this here, but actually I'm not. It's a little too heavy for what I want to do. Now what this is going to do is the seeds are sown. I believe that's the word for it. And then what I need them to do is germinate, where they kind of think that they're gonna, like, what the added weight does is it makes the seed, since the seed's not actually under the soil, it makes it think that it's under the soil. So it's gonna need, it wants to grow now. So the first thing it's gonna do is start getting some roots and, you know, start doing its thing. So these are gonna sit in the dark for 2 or 3 days, 4 tops probably. These grew pretty quick, or they germinated pretty quick last time. I had them under lights on the 3rd day because they were, you know, almost 2 inches thick. So I'll put a probably about 5 pounds to overall, probably 2 little 2.5 pound weights that I have. So anyways, I'm gonna put two small weights on here basically, and what that's gonna do is, again, make them think that they're actually in the soil. And I'm gonna keep them in a dark area too. If you leave a little bit of light, what happens is they'll get a little bit lighter on the outsides here. That's about it.